Welcome back to another episode of Her Love, His Peace. I am, of course, the spoiler.
And I am yummy.
And today we've got a very interesting topic to talk about. You see the title. And I'm going to start off because I'm going to kind of build the, let's say, backdrop for everything. Before you step out on your relationship, you entertain the ideal of it. And then entertaining that ideal is what leads you down the slippery slope. So I'm going to give you my advice first, and then we'll get into the discussion. So that way, if we get lost into things, you got the advice right up top. So,
Okay.
number one, for people that are in that state of entertaining stepping out on their relationship, my first piece of advice is for you to exhaust every means of repair with that relationship. Give it every chance you get. And after you have felt like you've exhausted that, you've had the heart to heart, you possibly went to counseling or whatever you needed to do. The second thing I would advise is that you leave. You break off that relationship, regardless of marriage or whatever. And I know Yummy is a proponent of that because we both talked about this in length. And I've always, while I didn't disagree with her, I know, and people are going to say it gets complicated, and I agree,
Yeah.
it gets complicated.
Hmm.
But the reason I'm giving the advice the way I'm giving it to you to one, work on your relationship and exhaust every means, and two, to leave before you entertain that idea of getting into another relationship is because, again, you don't want your stepping out to be the focal point on why the relationship failed.
Correct.
So doing that, and like I said, I'm gonna get all the excuses. Doing that before puts all the onus on the couple in the relationship to work it out.
Hmm.
I'm not saying the other person is going to be receptive to any of it.
Hmm.
I'm saying for you, as the person who is contemplating this thing, right,
Right.
take these steps because, again, you don't want that to be the focal point of your break. And some people will use that as a reason to have the break. They can't say, own up to the fact that they're unhappy in the relationship or they don't want to necessarily break the person's heart or whatever, or they just
Hmm.
don't want to man up to or woman up to the fact that, hey, I don't want to be in this relationship anymore.
Hmm.
So they go off and entertain that thing of stepping out. And now it's all a big mess. And the stepping out part becomes the focal point of it. When really the problem is you not wanting to admit that you don't want to be in the relationship, or the problem is that you guys don't want to come together, or the other party doesn't, and work on fixing the relationship. So
Hmm.
that's why I have the view that I have, and I know that there's going to be a lot of people that uh, that may say, yeah, that sounds good, but
Yeah. There's always a but.
there's always a but. And like I said, this is not ground in stone for everybody, but I think it's good advice coming from mature people who've seen enough and know enough about relationships to say that no, exhaust every means with that relationship to repair it if you want to stay in that relationship. And if you don't want to stay in that relation, just be honest and get out of the relationship
Mm-hmm.
before you do anything. And the other reason I say that is because, again, well, I'll let you respond. I'll let you say, and then I'll get into some other things.
Yeah, well, I agree with you. If you feel you want to step out, if you even in like you say, entertaining the thought, try to talk. First of all, you talk to each other. You talk to if it's you, you talk to your partner. If it's them, they should talk to you. Have a discussion, and you got to first figure out what's really going on between the two of you, and what's the problem, and then go from there and try to work it out. If it don't, then you're right, leave before you cheat. Because, like, for some people, don't feel cheating. To me, cheating is a choice. So before you cheat and hurt somebody else, just leave.
There's some people that'll say, and I've done research on this thing, and when I was telling people we were going to do the topic, everybody got, oh boy. And and if some people talk about the circumstances, and I let them talk about their circumstances, right? But
Right.
again and again, right? Even with all the circumstances they talked about, I said that just like you said, but you have a choice,
You have a choice.
right? And you can always justify your circumstances for doing stupid shit. We all have done something that we probably shouldn't have been doing, but we justified it, right? We
Right. We make
justified
an
it.
excuse.
You make an
Exactly.
excuse. I heard this quote, this guy once said it. He said, a murderer justifies murder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because and I'm going to use that same analogy. You said a murderer can justify their murder. Well, you go and murder somebody. Well, why'd you do it? They made me mad. Really? That's their way of justifying it. Well, they stepped on my foot. Oh, they took my girlfriend. Oh, they rode down my block. Really? That's an excuse. You made the choice, which your choice could have been just walk away, be the adult of the circumstances. It's like, it ain't that serious. I'm gonna just walk away. But no, you choose to murder a person. So the same way with cheating. You in a relationship and you go and cheat. Oh, well, she was mad at me, or he was mad at me, or well, I ain't getting none at home, so I'm gonna go get some from here. And if she don't know or he don't know, it ain't no big deal. It was just a mistake. So if your partner finds out, oh, it was a mistake. It wasn't a mistake. How do you
Yeah.
mistakenly take your clothes off? You can't have sex with your clothes on. So how is it a
Look,
mistake?
you just fall into some
You do not just. I'm
you
finna
just
be.
fall into, hey, there's some sex there. Okay. I just fell into it.
What?
Of course, I'm being exaggerated, but it's a mistake because you made a mistake. Of course, you're going to realize it's a mistake after
You've
you've
done deed.
entertained that, right? Of course, after, and that's part of the thing of why I'm giving the big brother advice, right? And for those people who are entertaining that thing, you're never entertaining the aftermath or the possibility of the aftermath. And here's why. Because when you're entertaining that thing, You're going to surround yourself with people who are going to co-sign your bullshit.
Definitely.
Right? You're going to surround yourself with those people that they're trying to be good friends and trying to be supportive, right? And they hear you talking about how bad shit is at home. So they're going to co sign or stay neutral on you and your bullshit. When in actuality, if you're that friend that's on the other side listening to this story that your friend is telling about how bad things are at home or your desire to do X, Y, and Z, be the good friend and tell them, hey, exhaust everything and just leave before you even enter in another space.
Hmm.
Because here's the thing about entering into another space. When you do that, even when you do that with some type of agreement about
Hmm.
what you guys are doing,
Hmm.
emotions and the feelings get involved.
Hmm.
And no matter how much people say they have an understanding,
Hmm.
those two factors will always get thrown out the window. Regardless of I don't give a fuck what they talking about. Oh no, we're just fooling around. We're just having fun. We both know what it is. We're both being adult. You know what time it is, this, that, and the other. People make up fantasies in their head and they call it truth.
That's true. That is true. And that can happen in, even if you say, oh, we know we're just having fun. Somebody
Mhm.
feelings gonna get hurt in the process of having fun, because as the world says, women are emotional creatures. Though there's some emotional men out there that get attached too. So you can't just always say it's just the woman that's being attached, because when you have sex multiple times with a person, you're gonna get connected. It's like your feelings is gonna start growing, and at some point, somebody gonna want more than just a booty call. You gonna want more,
Well,
and it's not always offered more.
exactly. And I get my message is unisex. I don't go
Hmm.
to one spectrum or the other. And the reason I don't do that is because the especially in the social media space which we're in, they're famous, notoriously ruthless about making a sexual divide.
Oh
And
yes.
and that's what causes the I guess the misunderstanding of each other in the male female realm of relationships because you
Hmm.
get stuck on these sexual divides. And that's why my message is unisex and not to call out generalities on one or the other
Hmm.
because you're all going through it.
Hmm.
I know people, both male and female, that are in this realm right now of entertaining stepping out in their relationship.
Hmm.
Now, everybody has their own little reasoning based off the circumstances of whatever their relationship is, right?
Hmm. Right.
And it's those things of having people that give you, you know, like I said, you surround yourself with people that either going to be neutral on it but understanding, or is going to be, yeah, go ahead and do that shit. I wouldn't put up with that bullshit and this, that, and the other. That is bad advice. You're being a bad
It
friend, right?
Yes.
And
Yes.
it's just not the way they should be attacking that particular problem. Have to deal with your relationship, good, bad, or indifferent. either way it goes, whether you deal with it head on right here now, or
Mm-hmm.
when you get to the breaking point of it's going to end anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And my thing is in the relationship, and don't let stepping out be the catalyst, because that other person on the other side never owns up to their part of what went wrong in that relationship, and you will always be to blame because you stepped out,
Exactly.
not
Even
because,
though
yeah, even though what.
even though you had a part in this relationship not working, but because that person stepped out, it will totally be their fault that this relationship didn't work.
Exactly. And for that, and so a person will say, well, it don't matter because the relationship was going to eventually end anyway. Okay, go ahead and end the relationship. You
Exactly.
know, because see, now if you're going to be the bad guy, be the bad guy because you didn't want to be in the relationship no more, or you've exhausted everything and the person didn't respond to everything that you tried to put in place or do together to make that relationship work. Be the bad guy on that,
Exactly.
but don't be the
Exactly.
bad guy on you stepped out, got found out, and now the whole relationship is your fault because of that.
Exactly.
You know, and I'll tell people, you may not believe this, and that's why some courts have a no fault thing and this, that, and the other, right?
Mm-hmm.
But these people get hyped up on, well, that person stepped out in the relationship. That's why it ended. Then, oh, let's get them. You know,
Yeah. Yeah.
even though that's not supposed to be the factor in the court of law, it still comes that way.
Exactly.
You got to remember,
Yes.
judges are lawyers and lawyers are judges.
Yeah.
They all talk to
Yeah.
each other. They got a little
They
club
do.
together, and they all talk to each other. And they're supposed to
They
be on a
do.
professional level, and they're just a bunch of bullshit,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And especially if you're a societal underdog, or they looking to grind you on every turn,
Right.
right? Don't give them that
Right.
kind of ammunition, right?
Nope.
That's
Nope.
my thing. That's my thing.
And see, and that's kind of like coming from not even because see now from the sounds of it, that's like a little deeper. Like as far as if you're definitely if you're married and you feel you got the urge or you're thinking about stepping out because it's not you're not happy at home or whatever the case is, whatever's going on at home, please, so you don't get caught up in the system so bad because you're gonna be in the system anyway. But in the relationship before you step out, because like you say, the judges and the lawyers, they would love to find out, oh, he stepped out or she stepped out. Oh, yeah, we finna take them to the ringer. Why? But that wasn't the reason the relationship ended. It was a whole bunch of other stuff that led up to it.
Hmm.
But, and I'm not even talking about leading up to the cheating part. It's just a lot of stuff led up to the fact that the relationship is just not working no more. So end it. But then you have so many people that try to hold on, they go ahead and cheat. No, they're not happy at home, but they want to keep that safety net. To me, it's like,
Sure.
oh, I ain't happy there, so I'm gonna go get me a side piece over here, and you know, I just do like that. And if it don't work out, I could try to make it up at home. That's not fair. That's not fair to the other person that you out here kicking it with, and you got another whole spouse at home, and you started kicking with it with somebody else only because y'all on bad terms right now. Okay. Yeah, no, don't do that. Either you're gonna leave or you're gonna stay. Don't bring a third party in that's gonna end up getting hurt.
Well, I know people that have have agreements. They're married, but they live separate lives by agreement. And I know several people, because I kind of don't call them a couple. It's several people that have that kind of married life. And notice it's not a lot of people I know. It's
Mm-hmm.
a few people that I know of. That takes a different type of maturity level, you
It
know.
does. It
it-
does.
and and I'm not here to knock that. However, y'all work that thing out, and you worked it out. It is what it is. But everybody
Yeah.
is not even mentally mature enough to even work something out like that. And I'm not saying
Exactly.
I'm not for it or against it. I'm just saying, giving it as an example, there are people that do that, you know.
Mm-hmm. It is. It couldn't be me. No. Either we gonna be together or we ain't. There is no open relationships nowhere whatsoever. Not happening. Not happening. I'm just saying that's my preference. It's like I'm just gonna put it like this. I'm stingy. I don't like sharing. I don't even really like sharing candy. So let alone sharing a man. No.
Well, your context of looking at it is a little different than what they're doing. Right?
Yeah.
They're
Yeah.
they're they're not necessarily sharing anything because they're living totally separate lives. They're not coming together to do anything except for, like, I know a couple, they stayed together for the kids. He's at one end of the house and she's at the other end of the house.
But there was
And
kids.
right, they were kids before this agreement. The
Okay.
agreement to stay together was for the kids, but they lived totally separate lives. Right now,
Okay.
I don't get into the context of what that looks like or anything, or what, why, who, why, because that's internally in that house and they work that shit out and they do their thing and nobody's screaming foul. That's a little different
Well,
context. And I know another
that
couple that's like that. That's a little different context, right? There's no sharing
yeah.
going on. They
Well,
just
that's
stay married. They just stay married for the kids.
and that's a different story because I've heard of and know people that have stayed together for kids, but once the kids were and they had that agreement that they were doing it just for the kids. But then once the kids are was grown, it was like there's no reason for us to stay together now. But some of them there is a couple that did stay together
Hmm.
after the kids was grown and out the house. They're like, what's the point now? We here.
And sometimes that's what it takes, that, and really in actuality, back in the olden days, these people always wanting the relationship that their grandparents had, right?
Right.
A lot of those relationships had to stay together because, again, you lived in a time where you didn't have access to the internet, social media, all
Yeah.
these other distractions. And if you're black, you weren't necessarily liked everywhere you went. So
Correct.
that nuclear family and staying together, you were all you had.
Yeah.
So, of course, if you fast forward that 40 years, you'd have been with a motherfucker.
You done been that long, you might well
Right.
stay.
Right. So,
You
so these,
you might
these,
well stay.
and you didn't raise generations of kids and grandkids and great grandkids and stuff like that. So of course these people are saying, "Oh, I want the love that my grandparents had." Hell, they with each other. What?
But you know, the sacrifices they made back then, they ain't willing to make this
All right.
nowadays.
Well, and two, you don't have to because now it's a different time.
It is. Times are different.
So, so updating yourself with the modern time. One before we got on, the gentleman said that social norms have changed.
Hmm.
Right. So the social norms have changed in a lot of different ways that wasn't back then. So why you may want that relationship of back then because of social norms and the times changing, I get it.
Hmm.
You romanticize about that. But if you talk to some folks, wasn't no romance going on. It wasn't as romantic as we make it out to seem like it was. You know, there was some rough bumps and bruises back then, and so it's a
And see,
balancing act of things.
exactly. Well, back then, when they had debates or disagreement, they didn't do it in front of the kids. They had disagreements. Any marriage that's been last a long length of time, like you say, it been some type of disagreements, and you got this newer generation. Oh, I want that kind of love. You don't know what they endured to have that kind of
Right.
love, and are you
Exactly.
willing
Exactly the
to,
point.
you know?
Are
And
you
for
willing to
one,
do those kind of sacrifices for that kind of love?
ex-
See, that's what I'm saying.
exactly. And then you could sit there and say, "Oh, well, I never seen my parents or my grandparents argue." Okay, because they kept it from in front of kids.
Mm.
Nowadays, the kids be all in the middle of the fight. Like, wait a minute, stay in
Right.
your lane, kids. But
Well,
that's
that's the thing with the social norms that change.
yeah.
You
And
know.
like you say, you got the social media and all of that. So, I get mad at you. I'm finna go and talk about you, how you ain't no good all on social media.
Hmm.
And then tomorrow I'm showing, oh, I love you. This is my bae. I love him. Really?
It's my bug.
Yesterday, right. Yesterday you couldn't stand him. And now
Hmm.
today, oh, I'm so in love. We so happy.
Yeah.
Make it make sense. So
Well, yeah.
keep your keep your arguments off of Facebook or any social media platform. Deal with it within your household. It's not even
No,
something you got to go run and
we
tell
we we
everybody in the
gonna
family.
we gonna argue on social media. We gonna put our business out there. We doing that.
Who is?
Me and you.
No, we not.
Yeah, yeah, we
No,
is. Yep.
no, we
Yep.
not. No, we
The
not.
people. I'm gonna be the people's person.
Okay, you could be the people's person.
Right.
But if
Right.
we have a disagreement, we're gonna be two adults. We're gonna sit down, we're gonna talk about it, and we're gonna move forward. And ain't
Right.
nobody gonna know but the two of us.
We gonna be adults. We're gonna talk about it on social media, and I'm gonna be
No,
the people's person. You're gonna be wrong.
okay, that's fine. I may be wrong, but it ain't gonna be on social media.
It's gonna be on social media, and the people are gonna be with me
That's
because
fine.
I'm
Mm,
gonna be the people person.
And my you already got the people on my side. My side is all team you.
Right.
But no, it don't matter who right or wrong. It ain't gonna be on social media.
Look. You got to get the family on your side, right?
Okay.
Got to get your family on your side.
And my family like you.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you,
But
family.
still,
This spoiler loves you all.
really.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, they love you too.
Hey, mom. Hey,
And 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 your number one supporter, my cousin Sherry.
that's what's up. That's what's up. Hey,
Yeah.
everybody. Hey, everybody.
Oh, you so petty. You so petty. Oh, I can't.
I'm going to end this talk, serious talk, with a little fun, with the same way I started it. Once you entertain stepping out, you're already in trouble. before you go and entertain that, do yourself a favor. Exhaust every means of repairing that relationship. Or if you're at the point of that, or you have no desire to be in the relationship no more, in the relationship before you step off and do something else. You will be a better person for it. And you won't have this guilt
Agree.
making that mistake because you're going to feel that guilt. And even if you build it up psychologically of maybe some revenge thing, I know some people that have been on this revenge thing, you're
Yeah.
not
Yeah.
going to get anything out of the revenge thing. It's still going to be the
No.
same fucked up thing. There's no way you can revenge that.
No.
Leave the relationship
Yep.
before you're done. That is my advice on this. I'm curious to know what all of you think on the topic. Remember, if you're the friend that's listening to this, be a good friend and encourage them to do just what I said.
Exactly.
You'll be a better
Exactly.
human being for it. So all you old school cats that have been co-signing all that bullshit, stop it.
Stop it now.
Stop it now, right? Right? And
Right.
play this back for your friends.
Exactly.
So
No revenge. No tit for tat.
no tit for tat and all that kind of thing, because
Mm-mm.
you're not going to gain anything from that. It's
No.
going to be the same bullshit relationship, same guilt, and you may be having fun, but that's only going to be until everything blows up and blows out and goes 1,000 different ways that it shouldn't have went in the first fucking place. Because you got
That
two
is
adults who's supposed to be mature, and that's when.
correct.
So
Good
let us
advice.
know in
Good
the
advice.
comments. Let us know in the comments what you think. That's her love, his peace. I'm the spoiler.
I'm yummy.
And we'll catch you next time.